Hello everybody, this is your boy coming at you with a video that is very, very important at this particular time. This is actually Dallas week. This is Friday afternoon. Everybody is on fire. Everybody is on hype because it's in 2 days to go before the actual game begin against the Dallas Cowboys in Philadelphia. Now, this is a video that I'm presenting to you guys. This is called Key to Victory. Now, this is my first time doing a key to victory video because the fact is a lot of YouTubers on YouTube land does these kind of videos and they are very good at doing them. So this is my first time doing one. I'm hoping that this will be the first of many to come, but right now I'm making this video because this is Dallas Cowboy Week. And you guys out there know what I'm talking about because it's the rivalry itself. We all know the Cowboys own the all-time winning series against the Philadelphia Eagles. Some like 70-some victories to 60-some, somewhere along a bit now. I'm not quite exactly sure. But the Cowboys pretty much on a good streak against us. And most importantly, they have a 5-game win streak against us now. But I'm going to say this right here about the 5-game win streak. If you guys remember, 2007, before the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, the last game we played, which was a Week 17 game, it was at home at Philadelphia, and Doug Peterson took out most of his starters and put the backup guys in there. And the backup guys didn't play as well as I thought they would because the game wound up being a three field goal victory for the Cowboys. They kicked the field goal. I'm sorry, not three field goal, two field goal. It wound up being 6-0. The Eagles did real good defensive, keeping them out of the end zone for touchdown, but they were able to kick two field goals, which lasted from the first half to the second half of that game. So I really don't consider that as the beginning of winning streak. It's actually 4 of 5 games winning streak against the Philadelphia Eagles. But this game particular, which goes on, was supposed to come on Sunday afternoon, but they haven't really decided which time zone it's going to come on. Some saying it could be the afternoon game. Some saying it could be the later game around the 2:45, 3:45, somewhere along up in there. The game's supposed to come on. They still haven't decided yet. So somewhere, I get between now and tomorrow, we'll know more about when the game actually comes on, so we can all be ready and prepared to watch our football team, the Eagles, beat up on the goddamn Dallas Cowboys. Because this is a team that have been stricken on our nerves for the past 4 or 5 games. And the key to victory to this game, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it going right now. The key to victory is the defense. I said it right, the defense. If you guys remember, when we had that long win streak going, the Eagles offense wasn't doing what it's supposed to do, and the defense was going around smashing and kicking ass. But we wound up winning we lost 2 of 3 games in that time. We beat Buffalo, but we lost the game against the New England Patriots and the game against the Seattle Seahawks. Two winnable games that we should have won in the first place. And until this day, I have not really forgotten those 2 horrible losses because we had New England eating out of their own hands. We should have won that game. We had the Seattle Seahawks eating out of their own hands. We should have won that game as well because though both of those games were 17-10 victories, which favored Seattle and the New England Patriots. So since those 2 games, we have been on a 2-game winning streak, and tonight, not tonight, Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon, or Sunday evening, somewhere along a bit. Like I said, I'm not quite sure exactly the time zones of them games. Whatever their time zone that they choose, I'm gonna be right in front of the TV, watching my team play and kick the dog shit out of the Dallas Cowboys or Dallas Cowgirls or however you guys want to say it. But anyway, keys to victory. Let's go back to keys to victory. Keys to victory, y'all, is the defense. The defense, the last 2 games, hasn't done their half of the work. And what I mean by that is teams have been throwing long balls against us. We lost to the who did we play? The Miami Dolphins. That game right there, boy, still burns a hole in my ass because that's a game we supposed to have won. Fitzpatrick is 2-0 against the Eagles. This is a guy that been at Tampa Bay the previous year and kicked our butts, and then he wound up being over to the Miami Dolphins, two Florida Bay teams, and he kicked our butt. He 2-0 against us. And the reason why he 2-0 against us is because our defense cannot stop the pass. And I said it right. The defense cannot stop the pass. This is where Jalen Mills, this is where Ronald Darby, this is where the safeties got to hold their ground. They got to man their coverages and zone and take care of the wide receivers and tight ends out wide because the Cowboys, pretty much like us, they like to do 2 tight end sets. And we know they got 2 tight ends. One of the guys, a young guy, they drafted, I think, either last year or this year. And then they got Jason Witt, who came back out of retirement. Them are 2 field tight ends. They play their tight ends either on both sides of the field or on the same side, depending on where. Because if their tight ends are on separate sides, then it's more likely to pass. But if you see that their tight ends on both tight ends on either left or both on the right, it's more likely going to be a run, and they're going to block for the run for Ezekiel Elliott to get left or right or up the gut for 5 or 10 yard 5 or 10 yard gains. Now that's what we really need to focus on is Ezekiel Elliott, because Elliott opens up everything for the Cowboys. This guy, once he gets 10 yards and once he gets going, because it's like the Cowboys like to run, they like to pass and then run, pass, run. They like bouncing out their offense. So if we can keep our eyes on Ezekiel Elliott at all costs, what I mean by that is they need to just rush upfield and stand their ground and keep their eyes on Dak Prescott. Watch where the ball goes. If they can watch where the ball goes, then they can see if it's play action or they can see if it's read option, because Dak Prescott played at college. He played a read option offense in college. And they brought that same type of offense to the NFL, and he's been pretty good with the read option ever since. And we all know that the read option is more likely going to be a run. So he like giving the ball to Ezekiel Elliott where he can run upfield and get some yards on our asses. That's where the linebackers is going to stand in coverage as well, because they got to keep their eye on Ezekiel Elliott. They need a guy to watch Ezekiel Elliott at all costs, regardless if it's a cornerback or a linebacker. Somebody got to keep their eyes on that guy because he has to be able to burn our defense. This guy burnt our defense 4 of the last 5 times that we have played against this guy, and he has burnt us accordingly. He has 4 or 5 100-yard rushings against us. So if we can limit his rushing yards to less than 50 yards between the first and the second half of the game, then we've done a good job stopping Ezekiel Elliott. And then we can concentrate more on the pass. Because, see, like I said before, Mills and Darby got to man their coverages. They got to. I don't care if they go man-to-man, be this close on them, or out wide. I prefer them to be in their face. That's where they can watch them, watch their leg speed, if they go cut left or cut right, or they go straight ahead with their run routes. We got to stop those running routes of the receivers. I mean, it's a lot on their plate, but it has to be done. And this is how I feel when we're playing the Dallas Cowboys, because they are one of the best run teams in the NFL that we played all year. And teams are constantly running the ball on us. Like I said before, Fletcher Cox need to play more outside rushes. And the reason why I say that is, if y'all remember him, excuse me, if y'all remember back in the day when he was part of the Chip Kelly 3-4 defense, excuse me, he ran. He was He played all three spots on the defensive line. He played all three spots. But his main spot was on the left end, and he played inside. But he played all three spots. If y'all remember that game he played against the New Orleans Saints, if y'all remember, the Saints beat us in 2013 in the playoffs. The Eagles played the Saints a year later, 2014, and we smashed the Saints on their home turf in New Orleans that year. Cause Fletcher Cox got like 4 or 5 sacks on Drew Brees, and that was the last time the Eagles beat the Saints in the regular season. So, with that being said, excuse me again, they got to put Fletcher on either on the outside or in the middle. Take advantage of this man's speed rush because Fletcher Cox is a big guy, 6'4", 200 between 250 or 280 pounds, somewhere along been there. He had speed and he had quickness to run up the field and get a tackle or get a sack for loss. But in this particular time against the Cowboys, though, we can't afford to rush. Our main purpose is to stand our grounds. Rush if you can, but if you can't rush, hold your hands. Keep the guards and keep the guard centers and right and left tackles off you. But keep your eyes. Excuse me, y'all. Keep your eyes on Ezekiel Elliott. Keep your eyes on Dak Prescott because, like I said before, these guys like to play read option or play action pass based off the run. If they can just hold their ground, that front four can hold their ground and keep the eyes on those two guys, and we'll know exactly what they plan to do with the ball. Excuse me again. And then, like I said, you got your linebackers out where they can also keep their eyes left and right of the tight ends or the running back coming out the backfield because they got a guy named Pollard from University of Memphis who's probably one of the better receiving threats that the Eagles have also faced all season. This guy, Dak Prescott, not Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott had speed and power. Pollard is pure speed and quickness. And once he coming out of the backfield, it's hard to get a hold on that boy because he's exceptionally fast coming out of the backfield. So the Cowboys have thought themselves a dual threat out of the backfield with two running backs that they can feature at any time. So if Ezekiel Elliott get hurt, Pollard can play. And if Pollard gets hurt, they got Ezekiel Elliott to play all 3 downs when it comes to run the football. Keep the victory. Safeties and cornerbacks have to stand their ground against the receivers. Linebackers got to also stand in some zone coverages and keep their eyes on tight ends and running backs out of the backfield. The front 4 need to keep their eyes on Dak Prescott. They keep their eyes on Ezekiel Elliott at all costs. I really hated that Derek Barnett is not playing because Derek Barnett is actually your quicker defensive end, and he has beaten with the right tight end Tyron Smith. He had beaten Tyron Smith several times to get in that backfield. So Tyron Smith is not as quick as a lot of people think he is. He is a good holder. He is a good pushbacker, but he cannot stop a speed rush. See, Derek Barnett provides that speed rush off the edge, and he has the ability to maintain and hold the edge at all costs. I really hate he's not playing in this game, but it is what it is because the injury front, Nelson Aguilar is hurt because from what I've been told, he been having a swell in his knee, and he hadn't played in the last 3 or 4 games, but his knee been bothering since the Vikings game, and he had been the same since. So he ain't been nowhere on the field. I think last time he's on the field was against the Chicago Bears game, and that's the game that Wentz threw the ball, and he should have caught that ball in the end zone, but the ball went right through his hand. It was like as if he wasn't even trying to catch the ball, and I think that's what he re-aggravated the injury on that knee, because if y'all remember, he went down and he was trying to he was shaking his knees, something, shaking his leg or something, or something along up in there. I think he re-aggravated that knee in that game because we played the Vikings before the Chicago Bears. So he re-injured that knee. So he ain't been the same since. And then we got Derek Barnett, like I mentioned, he's been having, I think, leg problems or ankle. He has an ankle injury. He had been back since the ankle injury. And we got Lane Johnson, who's also out with an ankle injury. He had limited practice all this week, and from what I've been told, the injury is not the same. So he won't play in this game. He more likely won't play in the other game too against the New York Giants. So the Eagles might, if the Eagles beat the Cowboys, he won't play in the Giants game. So I think it's best to keep Lane Johnson well rested if he can get to the playoffs. He needs to stay well rested. And as far as the other guy, Derek Barnett, probably Barnett the same way. Barnett might come back quicker. He might come back in the last game, but we're still not sure on Derek Barnett. Nelson Aguilar probably won't be back none this season at all. He might want to rest in this game, and he's going to rest the Cowboys game, and he's going to rest the New York Giants game. So he might be back in the playoffs. It depends. So like I said, those are my three main injuries, but there's other injuries as well. But some of them guys are in limited practice, or some have practiced and are full go in this game against the Cowboys. So I mean, a lot of injuries going up front. But like I said before, the key to victory is for these Eagles defense to hold their grounds. They're gonna have to hold their ground because, like I said before, Dak Prescott, he likes to run and pass the ball out of the read option or out of the play action pass once the run gets going. So we got to stop the run. That's the key, and that's the main key to victory. We have to stop the run. There's no other beatings around it or beating around the bush around it. We got to stop the run. There's no other options there. And last but not least, the coaching. Whew. This is where I have an issue with the coaching because I feel that the last couple of games that we have won, Doug Peterson has coached a good game. Them last two games, that's how they able to come back and win them games in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? And we had some practice squad players. Last week before last MVP, Boston Scott, he done real well in the Redskins game, and he did real well against the Giants game. You know what I'm saying? So, then we got Greg Ward, another practice squad player who took full advantage of his opportunities in the Redskins game. He caught the game-winning touchdown, but we all know that it was 31-27. But after they got the fumble, the sack, the fumble recovery, the linebacker number 53, Nigel Bradham ran 35-40 yards into the end zone for the final score of the game, which wound up being 37-27. So if the defense can play as good as they played the last couple of games, but like I said before, defense is an issue, so I'm not gonna give them all the credit, and I don't even know why I mentioned them again as being good because they really ain't that good. We still top 5 against the run, but we horrible against the pass. We like between 20 and 25 against the pass. So there are other teams worse than us, but we among the worst when it comes to pass. So we have to protect our offense and get turnovers, get interceptions, fumble recoveries, sacks, knockdowns, hits, whatever it takes to knock Dak Prescott off his game. Because that's what it's going to take in the key to victory. That's the other one. We got to knock Dak Prescott off his game. We got to tackle, we got to sack, we got to hit, interceptions, fumbles, whatever it takes to get negative points from them and positive points for us, for our offense to go out on the field and put up some points. Because points are going to be needed in the game to beat the Cowboys. And I believe we got the ammunition to do it. Even though we hurt on the defensive back end of the field because the defense is suffering more of injuries than the offense. So offense got to come together, defense got to come together, coaching got to come together, and the entire Eagles fan base, y'all got to be out there. That's the main and feature key to victory. Eagles fans out there, please show up, come together, scream, yeah, let your noise ring. Because that's what it's really going to take to win this football game against the Dallas Cowboys. And those are my keys to victory. In this first key to victory video today for you guys, as you can see, I got on my got an old school jersey on. I'm an 81 Owens. So it is what it is. That's my key to victory. This is your boy giving you a video for you guys to like, thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and most importantly, give me a thumbs up. Peace. One love.